Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Today I'm going to film the introduction of creating a therapy scrapbook, and I have a few things here to help me. This is my prototype, so I want to show you what I'm using, but if in case it doesn't work out, it is the prototype, so I'll be refilming the video, but I don't want to refilm the items that I'm using. So I'm going to show you here the things I've gathered for it. I'm going to do the fabric cover just like we did for the other little mini notebook that I did, the 4x6. This one's going to be a different size. I'm actually going to shoot for making the scrap therapy book a 6x8. So this is perfect for that because these notepads are, or not notepads, but these paper pads are already that perfect size. So I brought out the two of these that I have. These are my leftover of the vintage Garden District. So this one's Garden District and this one's Botanicals. And then this one is the Jen Hatfield Home Plus Made. Heart of Home is the name of this collection that she released. I only have the 6x8 pad, paper pad. So I've also already looked through my little drawer. You guys know that before I do anything, I pull my little drawer, this one, and I've already separated all the paper that I think will go with the color theme. So I asked Susan what colors did she want me to kind of play around with her scrap therapy book, and she said that the pastel colors were fine, or light colors, so that's kind of what I'm going for hers. And then I also pulled my paper pads, you guys. With all this downtime that we've had, I've decluttered so much, and I promise you, let me just show you really quick. I'm gonna sidetrack for a minute. I have this Typecast Way Memory Keeper 12x12 paper pad, and I just feel like I can incorporate some of these pages into the notebooks that I want to create. I call them notebooks, but you guys know what I mean. It's the scrap therapy binders or books or whatnot. This one's a little dark. I haven't used any of this, to be honest, but I still have kept it. I have the Amelia Rose here. So I plan to pull some of these papers out. This one's gorgeous. I have, this one's definitely going to go with the light colors. The Apricot Honey, the Midnight Garden, and then I have, of course, the one I've been hoarding, Paradise Found. I still have the Christmas in the Country. I have the Beaky Bouton, Wedding Neutrals. This one's from Michaels, and it's just the soft pinks. And then I have the Dulce collection from Prima. A lot of soft colors in here that I may pull, like this portion will be cute for a 6x8, or the background of this paper will also work. And then honestly, I don't know why I'm holding on to these, but I have two, the Star Wars one, and then I have the Marbles comics, and that is it, you guys. This is all the 12x12 paper pads I have, because I have decluttered a lot out of my craft area. So these are all the paper pads I have. I'm going to leave this one out, and I'm going to leave this one out, and maybe that Dulce. I'm going to leave it out so that I could pull, like this one right here would be a nice color to add. So you guys will see I didn't put any of the paper in my declutter giveaway box because paper is heavy to ship. And so this I just donated, but I have been decluttering my stamp sets, and I have those in the box, so you guys will see a bunch of those that will be put in the next giveaway. But anyways, because back to what I really need to be working on, just wanted to show you the items that I'm going to be putting together. And I am going to start by sorting the paper that I want to use, and I'm going to cut it in if it's not already cut, I'm gonna cut it in 6x8. I'm also going to look through my postcards. I'm gonna look through anything, because honestly, a scrap therapy is like a catch of anything paper craft that you want to add to it, and that's what I'm going to focus on. So like I said, you guys, this is just the introduction. I'm gonna sort all my paper, pull out things, even little decorative, because I have this right here. I intend to sort through these. These are all my 4x6 note cards, and I'm just gonna pull and add them, see what I want to use for the scrap therapy book, and then I'll come show you guys the sizes. I'll show you again the steps in case I decide to do something different with the covers, because we'll have to create those and find the perfect fabric for that. And I'll bring you guys along the process. So before I forget, I also want to let you guys know that for the cover, I'm going to be using the chipboard. I did buy a pack from scrapbook.com, but the majority of these were free. I know I've said this multiple times, but when you place an order with scrapbook.com, they add one of these with your individual 12x12 sheets, just to protect them from, you know, bending or shipment in the mail. And I always save them. I think they come in very handy. I think you guys have seen multiple ways that I've used these. And so I'm going to be using these to create the covers for all three scrap therapy books. So I'll leave you guys here. I'm gonna, to save time on camera so the video is not super long, I am just going to start by trimming all the paper. That's it. Sorting it, ripping out of these pads and cutting it down to size, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys a little bit more. Okay guys, so off camera, I went ahead and completed the prototype, and I wanted to show it to you, and then I'm gonna walk you through the steps of the second scrap therapy book that I'm creating. So this is what I would call a skeleton shelf, because it honestly has nothing except for the cover, some pretty paper that I've gathered, a few things that I've added like this tag, and just basically the cover. I've made a pocket here and here that you guys can see, and I went ahead and hand sewed all around the paper. So this is again a skeleton shelf. Now that I kind of have the correct measurements, I'm gonna show you how I've put everything together. So I'm gonna start out by sorting the paper, and you guys saw that I've already done that, and I have the stack of papers here. Okay, it's quite a lot because right now they're individual pages. So let me show you. I'm gonna actually bring this one back so I can show you the color theme. So I'm gonna do a quick flip through of this one, and you guys can see it's very light colors. Let me just go ahead and do the flip through. And I'm just, like I said, building the shell, the skeleton shell for my crafty friends. If they decide that they don't like these colors, they can go ahead and remove them, add their own. I'm just want to build like a basic start for them. Do that. that one, this one, and that's my last page. Okay, so you saw that. So let me show you, because I have a stack of papers here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to divide the papers I have selected in groups. And I'm going to divide them in groups based on the color. So I'm going to leave this one aside, and actually let me expand you guys so you guys can see a little bit better. These, because they are the 3x4, I'm going to separate them. Sometimes if you like to use this as a page, by all means keep it like that. But if you want to be able to cut these pieces out, then of course cut it up however you prefer. I'm actually going to cut them up so that I could put it inside a pocket for them. So pink, decide which side you want to use. We're gonna definitely use this one. And you see how I'm kind of dividing. If the image has a lot of white, then it's gonna be on this group. If it's pink or a multicolor, it's gonna be in this. So I'm basically matching what goes well with the groups. This one's another one that could be broken up, so I'm gonna separate that part now. This one's like a light orange, so I could put it here on a new group. Pink, mostly white. Let's put that multicolor. This is a different shade, so I'm gonna take this one away. No, but I like the pink in the background. So I don't necessarily like this side, but I do like this checkered pink. So I'm gonna keep it in the pink stack. Another piece of white, mostly white. This is almost like a black and white, so I'll try to keep this one over here. This one's black and white, pink. Here's another checkered, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that one on the side for now. This one's black and white, mostly pink, but we'll put it on the light side. This one's mostly white as well. Pink, white, and a soft pink. So now that I have the groups divided, what I'm going to do is pick up what I want to be the start. So let's make this one the first page, and then I'm going to pick up from each group basically, and that's how I'm going to build the colors that I want to go. And see, like, these colors are not necessarily the colors that I want to use, because I want to keep them in like the soft pastel pink colors or the pink family. I can glue these two back to back, and that's going to give me this light coral to go behind this one. So then I can pick up one of these or one of these. And same thing, if I don't want to use this blue, I can hide it by gluing these two together, and it's going to take away that blue. So just finding the order in which you want the things. And then keeping in mind that you're looking at your pages like this, in this pattern from the front. And then once you go back, look at the back pattern, once you adhere those two together, or the two from the sides that you don't want. And then we could add one like this, or actually like that. Now that's too much white. Let's add a strong color like a black and white. Let's add this one facing this way, like that. And you just kind of play around until you find something that you like. Grabbing from each That's dark blue. I don't want that sign. So let's do it like that. Like that. And then we could do it like that. Let's glue this on the background of that one. Let's grab the music sheet. Let's grab one of these. Let's hide that blue with that one. Let's add this one. I love that. Let's add the basic pink. And then we can add this one. Let's find something to hide that with. That one right there. And maybe we're gonna need, that doesn't really go. We could keep it white. Flip that one over. Let's hide that one with this one. Do this one. Let's hide that one. We need to hide this one. So we could put these two together, and then we need to find one that we could hide this red. So basically this is what we created. We're gonna hide these two, so we can go ahead, bring in liquid glue. Just quick, of course. Once you start putting the pages together, then you can focus more attention to it. Okay, so that's our first page, and it's gonna flip like that. This one, we like it how it is, but we don't like the blue, so then just go like that. Keep in mind, you guys, I know I already said it, but keep in mind that I'm only building a shelf for my crafty friends. So they can remove, they can take away, they can add. This is just a shelf to get them started. Okay, so then once you go like that, this is another thing that I do, is I kind of make a fan of the pages to see if I like the way they flow together or if I need to change something or move something around. So this is the way that it looks, like that. If you're happy with it, which I kind of am, then you do the other direction and you fan them out to see if you like the way they flow, which it seems like it has a nice consistency to it. And that is how I sort my papers, and that's how I make my decision of how to put the pages in order. So then I just take the first page, very simple. I'm going to be bringing over my ruler, and this is 6 by 8. So on the 8 inches side, I am going to mark where I want my holes, and I am going to do 2.5 inches on each side. So 2.5 will be here. So here and here, and then you guys can decide how far deep you want your circles. So normally I just count the lines, which is mine tend to be around 3/4, no, not 3/4, 7 lines. I don't know what 7 lines is on the ruler. So 7/8. No, it's not 7/8 because this is my 1/2 inch right here, and I'm not even at the 1/2 inch. So just count, I just count 6 to 7 lines through the inside, and then I'm going to bring my hole punch and make a hole there. Another thing that I want to do is I want to see where the edge of this circle is, the first one that I made, so that I could get the other hole in the same. So right here. So I'm just going to make a line. And when I place my hole punch, I'm going to make sure that the line, the end of that circle is going to cut at that line. Like that. Okay, now that I have the first page figured out, then the rest are going to be super easy. You just use it as a template, and then self-explanatory, you're going to cut your holes like that. Okay, and then you do the rest the same way. Now for the covers, I'm going to be bringing over that chipboard that I tell you is for free. They send it to you whenever you order paper. And this side is 12 inches, but this side is 13 inches or a little bit more. Probably, let me see, 12 is right here. So it's probably 12 and a half. Yeah, 12 and 3/4. So this side is a little bit longer. I am going to cut let me cut this side first. So I am going to be cutting, if my paper is 6 by 8, I want this to be 6 1/4. Make sure it's straight. By 8 1/4. Like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with the leftovers. So I have enough with one of those chipboard pieces to create my front and back cover. So I'm going to do the same thing, which is already cut at 6 1/4. And then I'm just going to do the 8 1/4. Make sure it's straight. Okay, and that's my front and cover. So this is how I do the holes for my cover. So basically I lay the, oops, sorry about that. So this is how I do my cover. I bring over the first sheet that I used as a template for the holes, and I'm going to line it up, eyeball right here, and I like a little bit of that overhang. So I'm just going to mark it like so. And this little hole punch does the trick. You don't have to go buy a new tool or anything like that. You just kind of have to squeeze hard. And then bring your second cover and use that as a template. Make sure it doesn't move for you. And then there you go. Now you have your front and back cover, and you have your first page template so that you can go ahead and create the holes on the rest of your pages, and then you can come in and create the shell. Now we still have to do the fabric cover them with fabric. We still have to pull out any decorations that you want to add. I have a few postcards here that I want to include for them, and I do want to make a pocket on this one just like I did with the other one. And so yeah, you just play around and add things that you think would look super cute in your scrap therapy skeleton shelf. So that's all I have at this moment, I'm gonna come back and show you guys the fabric cover, or how I decide to cover these, and we'll move on to that step next. Another thing that I want to mention that I almost forgot to tell you guys is I like to put reinforcers on my pages. I know some people don't like that, but I want my pages to be durable. So not only do I put them on every single page, front and back, but I also add them to the covers. I don't know if it does anything to that. I would imagine that it gives it a little bit more protection, and you're not going to see it because it's going to be covered anyways. We're going to be adding some eyelets to cover the holes up. So honestly, if you prefer to skip this step, by all means, go ahead and do it. But like I said, for me, it doesn't bother me. I think it gives just a little bit of extra protection, so I'm going to take it. And so I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to add reinforcers to every single page, including the covers front and back. Alright guys, the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to make my makeshift little ironing board, and I just put this piece of wood that honestly I think I got it from Simon Says Stamp a long time ago. Then I'm going to be bringing in my silicone heat mat. This was a cookie sheet that eventually I just ended kidnapping and keeping in the craft area. And I've already cut my pieces. This is the same fabric that I used when I created the 4x6 mini album. But this time I'm actually going to use the lace fabric over it. So I'm going to show you really quick because I think I messed this up. I don't think. I did mess this up when I did the small mini album. So I'm doing it how it's supposed to be. I have my heap-on sheet of glue or adhesive here. I have the fabric. Again, it's going to give me quite a bit of overhang, which is perfectly fine because I'm gonna fold it over. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is adhere the fabric to the heat bond. I'm just going to bring it over and put the two together, and this also helps flatten the fabric. Okay, I'm gonna peel, and you guys can see now that the adhesive is on the actual fabric, like so. We could throw this away, and then this is my front. How do I want to do this? Let's do the sides first. So we're going to do it a little bit at a time, or a little step at a time. We're going to fold. Well, I should cut these parts over. Like so. Like so. We're gonna do the inside with paper, so it's okay if like that, and then like that. Okay, now let's do these parts first. It's not gonna burn your carton, so don't worry. Don't worry about that part. At the most, I think your carton can bend, but it's not gonna damage it by putting a little bit of the heat from the iron. Like so. Okay, and then we're going to pinch and bend this way, but make sure I pinch correctly. And I'm gonna do this corner first. Okay, and then I'm going to pinch and fold over as well. Ooh, careful, don't burn yourselves. And then just slide it inward, like so. Clean edges, so you guys can see those three. And then before we do anything else, I am going to be bringing in the hole punch in the fabric, or this is really handy. It does go through the holes. But just in case you had forgotten, you can always use this, line it up, and then go ahead and make your holes with that template. But because I remembered, learned from my mistakes when I made the first one, I'm gonna do it like that. And you can see the little outline. You can do it in opposite directions now if you want, and that should cut through and make really good circles. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pinch and then fold over and do one corner at a time, just so that it holds. And then we're going to pinch and fold over as well. But this one has quite a bit, so you can always come back and cut a little bit of the excess, pinch and fold over. Okay, once you're happy with it, then you can bring it in this way, kind of like a motion like that, and let it adhere. You could go over it like so. And then since we have our holes here, then we can go back and do the bottom part like that, like that, and then just go back again if you need. Like that. And then this one's already loose, I think. There we go. Okay, and that is how we're going to create the covers for the inside. If you feel like you see how there's bubbles there, you just need to go over the whole thing one more time. Okay, then turn it over. Make sure you get the sides. And you have no more bubbles. See? So now it's completely adhered. It is gonna, like I said, be a little bit bent. That's because of the heat. So just put something heavy to flatten it. But I am going to cut a piece of this fabric here. And I'm not sure if I'm going to sew it. Like do like a sew like that. Because I think the heat bond will definitely be able to, you will definitely see it through. So I'm not sure yet how I'm gonna do that. But for now, I'm gonna be working on doing the other cover, and you guys just gonna repeat the same steps that I just showed you. Hey, I wanted to hop back in here to let you guys know this is still the front cover. I haven't done the back cover just yet. And the reason why I wanted to hop back on camera, sorry about the lighting, by the way, that's natural sunlight coming through. But the reason why I wanted to hop back on is because I did decide to use heat bond to attach this lace fabric right here that you guys see. And basically what I did is I took a strip of the heat bond and then I cut about 1.5 to 2 inches, heated these two together, and then I heated it, no, that's not a word, and then I placed them with heat on top of this one, and it worked beautifully. You're still able to put your hole punch through there, and I folded it over just in top of the first fabric, so it did work. It did adhere very well. I am going to bring in awl and just kind of sew at the edges. I think that's just going to add a neat touch to all of this. So this is going to take me a while because it's cardboard. It's getting thicker and thicker the more layers I add. So I'm thinking that this is the idea that I want to do. So this looks beautiful. I'm just going to maybe sew through it right here at the edges. Hand sew it. I'm going to be using my binding tool. This one's from We Are Memory Keepers, and I think Pink Paisley did a collaboration with We Are Memory Keepers on this one. That's why it's pink. And I'm going to just kind of line it up so my holes are all evenly spaced, and just punch the holes and then hand sew it for just the extra touch. But I just wanted to show you guys that cutting the strip of the fabric, heating these two together, and then heating it onto here works really well. And I purposely left, so look at the edge of the fabric, you see that space right here? That, to me, even though it's supposed to be the end of the fabric, I think it makes it look more like it's supposed to be there. Like that's the purpose for it. So I left it as it was. I didn't cut anything off of it. And now, before we go any further, I am going to pull, just because I still have this extra paper pad that I didn't use, and I'm going to find, look how beautifully that's going to cover. And I'm going to pull the other one so that they're both matching on the inside of the covers. And for this, I am going to keep it very simple. I'm going to use, honestly, I don't even know what kind of name, but you guys know, you've seen this. This is like the strongest double-sided tape I think there is, unless I'm wrong. So I'm going to just kind of place it. Make sure I get the corners really well. And I'm going to show you this one. And then once I'm done officially with this cover, the front space, then I'm going to go work on the second one. But I'll go ahead and do that off camera so that I don't keep you guys, because I feel like this is repetitive work. You guys have seen the way well, maybe you haven't, but I recently created a 4x6 mini album, and I used a lot of the same materials, the same ideas, same fabric, same concept. Yeah, that looks good. So we can go ahead and press the two and then lift, peel one. Actually, we could peel both. So we could pull that one and peel this one, and we didn't even need this too. And then just let it go, and it falls beautifully back in its proper place. Where is my bone folder? Just press like so, and then you still are able to cut through your holes there. It's getting harder though, I must say. And then one more time here, and then if it doesn't come all the way through, just go ahead and do it from the opposite direction. And then grab something to poke it through. There we go. Okay, so that's our front cover. Now, to finish this off, I am going to bring in some of the eyelets that I have, and I am using the same style of rings. These are black. I actually ordered white ones from Amazon, but they're not here yet. So in the meantime, I'm gonna hold everything together with these, but for the eyelets, I plan to use white. But where did I put them? That's the problem. I gotta go find them. So I have them here, and I'm going to use, I don't know if I should use I'll use the handheld one. This one right here, the crocodile. Let me see if I could get it to open. Okay, I do have some loose white ones over here. Might as well just use those up. And they don't get in the way of the sewing, so it's gonna be perfect. And then just hold it in place. And give it a little squeeze. And you see it grabbed all the layers of the two fabrics and the paper. So we're gonna do the same thing with the other one. And we're gonna do the same thing. And there they both are. And there you have it. So that is, other than the sewing, this is going to be our cover for our scrap therapy books that we are doing, and hopefully you guys are doing them with me. Should probably mix these since they're practically the same size. So I am going to, honestly, well, let me go ahead and do it. I might as well try to finish one whole side. I'm going to, hopefully my awl goes all the way. I don't have like a professional awl. I just have the stuff that came with this. Oh, it's definitely thick, you guys. So let's see. I'm just lining it up. Okay, so it's tucked in place, and we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna be bringing over the little pocket that came with the kit. And we're just gonna go for it. It's working. You just kind of have to wiggle so that the art could go all the way through. I'm not gonna go all the way to the top. I want to leave a little space. So I'm probably gonna stop. This one will be my last one right there. Okay. And then we can remove. In my scrap therapy book, it's gonna be the exact same way. Maybe different colors, but still, because I've already did a notebook or a little binder in these colors, so I'm kind of wanting to do something different, but the concept is still going to be the same. For the thread, I am going to use this kind. I think it's gorgeous. And then now I can bring it through much easier, and it looks much better. So I'm gonna hide the needle. The knot is gonna be on the inside, and just gonna hold it while I do that, and just go back and forth until it's time to come back on opposite direction. Okay, now we're gonna go back the same direction. Okay, now I'm gonna bring it, and we're gonna tie the knot here. I'm gonna do a double knot. There we go. Maybe another one just in case. Okay, and we are officially, I know it's a small touch, you guys can barely see it there, but we are officially done with the front cover. So now I am going to put it through the rings, do the back cover, and then I'll do the flip through. And basically, besides adding maybe vellum paper, acetate sheets, and what else can I add in here? Maybe one or two decorations. Sorry about that, my phone's going off. But maybe add a few decorations, like I already said that, and we will be calling this skeleton shelf complete, and then we'll be able to send it to our crafty friends. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on the back cover off camera, and then I'll come back and show you guys the flip through of the skeleton shelf. Basically, like I told you guys already, I wanted to create a scrap therapy book, but I didn't want to give it empty, so I'm kind of adding a few papers in there or a few pages, so that my crafty friends can go ahead and have something to start with. So like I already told you 10,000 times, I'm going to work on the back cover off camera, and then I'll come back. So see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so it's the next day over. I worked on completing the second therapy book pretty late into the night, and so the next day I wanted to come in to show you guys a quick flip through. I did them a slight different because I used a ribbon for here, but the concept was the same and the process was the same. The heat bond actually worked for this. I just put a small strip down the middle, and these are both the books. So I'm going to show you what I've added. Remember, keep in mind that this was a skeleton shell. So what I mean by that is that I was just going to put the cover together. They could decorate it any way they want. They could add or remove paper. That's why it's kind of a good thing that they're in these metal rings. And very plain. Basically, it's like I'm gifting them pretty paper, basically, in a binder or in the notebook. Not a binder, but the notebook. I am waiting on a few acetate sheets to come in and some vellum paper that I've ordered. So other than that, I would say this project is done, and I am going to be moving on to completing my scrap therapy book. The reason why I wanted to show you this one is because I've already used these colors for a mini album that I recently did, a 4x6 mini album. And so one, I wanted to give a purpose to these pretty leftover paper that I received, well, not received, but that I bought for the collection. And so for my scrap therapy book, I'm going to be using different colors since I've already used this pastel theme. In this pocket, I had a few things that I wanted to add as a gift for them. I have a sticker sheet by Kelly Perkley, a few vintage postcards, and a sweet sticker sheet. Again, this is, remember, scrap therapy. There are no rules. You play, take away, add whatever it is that your heart desires. So this is the first one. The second one, again, keep in mind that I'm trying to get rid of my leftover of the scraps that I have, and it's in the same color family or the same pastel family. Some of the pages are the same. I used that 6x8, which I still have, believe it or not. Let me show you guys. These little pads went a long way. Look how many I still have left over. Of course, these are like the darker green, reds, and blues. So I didn't use those sheets right there, but I wanted to keep the pastel colors like the pinks and the blacks and the orangey. So this is the second one. Just added a tag, more soft paper. I made a pocket for this one as well, and same thing, I've added the same because I actually have multiples of this sticker sheets. So I added a pack for her, postcards, and then the same, just a little sticker. I think they're postcards, not post stamp stickers, if you guys can see and lift that. So I added that, and that is about it. All the pages, again, they have the freedom to decorate however they want to, and they have the freedom to remove and add their own paper. And I think that's the mentality behind a scrap therapy book, is that you just do whatever the heck you want with no rules. So I hope that my crafty friends enjoyed it. I hope that you guys enjoyed how I put this together. And I will see you guys on the next video. Have a good one. Bye.